So just to introduce Udaan, Udaan is basically a platform where we just get different kind of people and then they just share the experience. So it's like a community. So today, we have Hashwata and Z. So Hashwata is basically she's a CMO and she owns her own company, Savable Business Solutions, and actually she is a multi-talented person. She has done everything everywhere. Like she's a therapist. She is, I think she has done something into Reiki, health, and many things. And she's very socially also active. And other the other one we have is Z. He is a senior brand manager at Sher Khan.
Am I audible now? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi guys. So this is my first live webinar of any sorts, to be really honest. And I really want to thank Udaan for allowing me to be a part of this. One thing that I would want to say, thanks Neeti for introducing us and getting us together. Otherwise, coming up to this spot wouldn't have been possible. Let me first start by introducing myself. My name is Muzammil. People love to call me Z because it's easier in a way, you know. So, so Muzammil, what does he do? Muzammil is a senior brand manager at Sher Khan. My role revolves around doing everything that is marketing and brand centric, setting it up from the groundwork and making it happen. But apart from that, my core job profile is to build new brands. So at any point of time, if Sher Khan is going through or building a new brand or a product, my job is to build a new value proposition that will be in a position to compete with the competitors in the market, right? So this is what I do. And so far, what I've done, some of my work that you can really go out and look for is the Sher Khan Kar campaign. I was responsible for that. In my 2.5, 3 years journey with Sher Khan, I've also designed an office, and right now I'm building a new brand. Other key things that I happened to do over the last few years were one is I'm the Indian ambassador to One Young World. What that basically means is Fortune 100 companies send their talents to a place where we call collaborate and build up associations that can really help us fulfill the 19 Sustainable Development Goals of the UN. And I'm also the BNP India Pride Network co-lead. That basically means that I'm trying to get the LGBTQ community heard in our office. So this is much about me. I'd probably push it to Hash right now so that she could go with her round of introduction. But meanwhile, what I want to tell you guys is this is our first, so just keep throwing the questions that you have. We try to solve as many as possible, and we'll keep it conversational so that you know what our regular days go around, what we personally feel as the matter concept, and what are our opinions. We'll probably help you, we'll guide you through it, and hopefully have a good session. Yeah. So over to you, Hash. Looking forward for the session. Yeah.
Same here, Z. I'm so excited and I'm so glad so many people are joining and they're still coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on, what I do, why we can help you, why we are the right people to guide you. But overall, this is just an introduction and the rest of it is more conversational. We don't want it to be like a speaker and audience session. We want it to be a very engaging session. We'll be sending out polls in between and you have to just keep sending in your questions. So whenever we see a question, as soon as we can get to it, we'll answer you. So the point is to actually guide you guys through it and then make sure that you have answers you need. So about me, I own Savable Business Solutions and we've been running it for the last 3 years. It's doing pretty well on its own. Our main clients are based out of Canada, US, UK. And I have been in this industry for over 7 years. So marketing was not where I started originally. I'm an internationally acclaimed therapist and I am certified in over 12 techniques. So I can work anywhere in the world. But I realized that marketing is something that comes more naturally and it's so fun. Like, you can be so creative and you can enjoy and you can actually put yourself out there. So even this session, in fact, because of Instagram, because of Udaan, we got in touch with so many people. Right now we're talking to you. So I love this. And that's the reason I'm here. I have been working with brands like a restaurant chain in Canada, and earlier before we started, they were having very low income, and the restaurants around them were earning more. So that how we work business, we help them through promotions, through email marketing, through Instagram, Facebook, and what we ended up doing was we doubled or tripled their sales in the last 1 year. So before they could not even afford us, and right now they're happy to invest as much as we need in marketing because they can see the results. So marketing can be magical. It can give you sales, it can give you leads, but you need to know the right techniques, and that's what we are here to do today. So please, while we go on, start sending your questions right now so that we can give you answers as soon as possible. And also, Neeti, if you can just show them the link, the name tag for Instagram. Guys, you can follow me at happytrippin_hash and Z on muzamiddal.site. So Udan
Yeah.
is do that PPT, and you guys can just scan it. We will also be leaving you with these links over here. We'll also be sending out an email if you have registered. So that's it, and I think Z will take over. He's going to introduce us with what is branding and how branding can work for individuals, for small companies, and for big companies. How it can help all of us rather than just one person, and why do we need it at all? So,
Okay, thank you, Hash. And I think we're ready and geared to go. One thing, there's a poll which is out there. Okay, I recommend everyone use this. I'm also going to give my answer now. Which among these can be signified as branding? So, talking about branding, there's some basic concepts that I want to talk about before we lead on to the topic of the conversation today, which is branding during this time, which is the Corona COVID-19 time. And before we start, Ash, I was wondering if you could discuss a bit about what we think or feel is a brand, and set the context up from there. So, are you available?
yeah, definitely. So
Hi. Okay, sorry. So
branding.
what do you think? What do you think? What exactly is a brand? And we'll have our versions of the answer and probably go forward from there, right?
Yeah, definitely. So for me, branding would be more like going out and shopping for an expensive jeans or buying something really like, Gucci and getting a 10,000 bag just because
Yeah.
it's popular. It's well known, and everyone who knows that you have a Gucci, it's like, oh my God, you're wearing a Louis Vuitton or you have a Gucci bag. So
Yeah.
it's the name that creates the hype and that feeling of owning that. I think that's the exciting part of branding.
Okay. So what you basically mean is certain brands give you a sense of feeling or prestige or privilege of owning it because you like it so much. And once that happens, you feel like owning them and you go out there and buy them. My concept, more or less, about what a brand is something that goes like this. And when you have two products at the same, you know, differentiation level, as in if there are two products which are mostly the same, like two Xiaomi products, right? They're like top notches at both places. At that point of time, the feeling that the brand name creates for you is the brand that they build. So, for example, it is all the intangibles that one would want to associate oneself with. It is the drive, it is the culture, it is the mission, the value, the goal. It is an extension of somebody's personality, and that is what we want to engage and interact with. So, for example, now when Ash spoke about Gucci for that matter, there's a certain sense of values that Gucci perpetuates which you really want to, which really attracts you because Hashwata is a particular type of person. And for different type of people, different things appeal to them. And that is what brand is. So you create an overarching story which talks to a specific set of customers, which are very typical to the kind of product or service that you're selling to brand. And I think considering this as the base conversation of what brand is, that brand is the feeling of all the intangibles that are associated with a logo or with a product or with a name rather will be associated to branding. So one thing that I wanted to talk about now, considering Corona and the fact that Hashwata also runs a one-stop marketing solutions company Ashwata, have you seen any change in terms of what branding has been on social media so far with your work?
As in because of the COVID situation?
Yes, very specifically. Nowadays, have you seen change in requirements from the clients, or the kind of things that everybody been wanting for? Have you seen any drastic change? What has changed according in your perspective?
Yeah, so I feel, especially in this COVID situation, if you are a brand or if you are an individual person, so what we are going to talk about is relevant to all of you, whether you own a brand, you are the brand, or you have a corporate association. But the
Yeah,
point is that if you're working in this environment, promoting yourself, and you say, come by, and we are doing amazing work, check out our place. So it's not really relevant. Like, are you really telling me to come visit your restaurant at this time when I should be
yeah,
staying safe? So that's, we
yeah,
have just completely stopped that. And I would say, guys, stop it. Stop being pretentious. Stop being fake. Just be yourself. Be honest. If you are an individual brand, post about what you're genuinely doing right now. Like if you're
yeah,
working from home, post situations from that, photos from that, fun moments from working from home, the challenges that you're facing as a virtual team. If you're not working, you're just in your house cooking and enjoying spending time with family, post about that. If you're a
yeah,
like a restaurant that we are running, what we are posting about is puzzles. Like, people can just enjoy some puzzles, some question answers, some
yeah,
tools. So we have been doing a lot of that through Insta stories and feed. So during COVID, we need to be very sensitive because people are dying here. And right now you cannot say, come sell, and we are going to sell this stuff, so come buy it from us, because buying and selling is not everyone's priority. Like right now we are struggling for essentials. So
okay,
we have to be really careful about how we are connecting it in terms of the graphics and the captions. So whatever image you are posting has to go with the caption. In the caption, you can just connect it like, the sky is so beautiful, I'm missing the world outside right now. And
yeah,
that you can just connect it to your brand, saying, even though we are away right now, we'll always be connected with you. Connect with us on this number, and this is our link, and this is our email. So
yeah,
connecting with the audience rather than just pushing stuff on them. Also that, because you spoke about branding and creating a name, I think Krisha has a question for us. Hi, Krisha. So thank you so much for this question. It's a very important question. She's asking, I wanted to ask that branding includes creating a unique name. So
come
yes,
again.
she's asking if
Where do I access these questions, by the way? Like, is there a way how I can access them?
just check it out on the chat box on your right. So
Okay.
explicitly, she's asking that how do you create a unique name for your company so it can impact people? So you have to be very careful. I'll just introduce this, Z, and then you can take over. So as per me, if you have a unique name, it's very good because, for your social media links and for your website, whenever someone just Googles it, your page will be the only one popping up. So do the research and make sure that yours is actually unique if you're going for the unique part of it. But make sure that it's a two-word thing if possible, because if it's too unique, then no one's gonna know. Like Google is not gonna show you up on those pages. So what you can do is, like, for example, I would say Seobal. So Seobal it's a very unique name. Seobal has SEO in it. So we are talking about SEO and marketing, and also Seobal comes with Seobal Business Solutions. So we are very clear about what we are doing. In the same way, I have a friend who owns Moriah's Marketing, Moriah's Designing. So even though Moriah's is a very different name, it's very unique, he has added the word designing so people know what it's about. So let your name talk about your brand. Yeah, Azee, you want to talk more on that?
Okay, Krisha, sorry. Krisha, very interesting question, to be really honest. And I think you're asking this for a very specific reason as well. If you're up creating a own business for yourself, I would rather say that first try to figure out what the brand stands for. So in my professional experience, I have had the opportunity to name two brands by myself, and I've gone through this exercise a lot of times. And what people in business, or somebody who's working in the higher up in the corporate, are just trying to look up to associations which actually make sense to the product. So for example, we work in stock brokerage company. So first what we did was we looked at very intensively looked at competition and tried to understand what is the theme going on here. And within that theme, is there a place where we can disrupt? So So once you understand what the competition is talking about, second, you understand what you want to offer, you'd find some keywords between each one of them. One that will associate you with the category, one that will associate you with the brand and the stuff that you're supposed to do with the product, and the gap between the competition. Once you do this, just try to come up with verbs very specifically, not adjectives and everything. Try to come up with verbs that you can associate these words to. And once you've done this, on a paper, you would find that you would have a matrix of a lot of words that directly associate you to the kind of things that you want to push. And later, there is a hack which I discovered, after doing this multiple times. There are logo makers websites online on which you can go and just use these two themes to come up with brand names. So there are logo making websites that'll do it for you free, and also brand making websites. But for that, the input variable that you need is what the company needs to stand for, which is a value proposition. And second is the gap between what the brand is and what you intend to offer. Once you've done all of this, you'll have a list of words that you can use to move forward. With the brand name, try going out with a tagline that generally gives the direction to what your product is going to do or empower you to do. Like, for example, Nike just says, just do it. Red Bull says, gives you wings. So that tagline will be the extension of your thought across. And I think I've spoken much about this question, and probably I'm not too sure if you can take it forward, but you can connect with me. This is a very interesting question. You can connect with me on personally. We can probably speak about it in depth. My LinkedIn handle is already out there, and we probably take some other question at the moment. There's a poll going on right now, which we request you to answer right at the moment, and that will be the answer for the question that Krisha asked. So, okay, sure, thanks a lot. Oh, thank you. But try to come up with different words, and also specifically try to think about what role your brand is trying to fulfill, right? Once you understand what that purpose is, everything falls into place. So, Hash, considering now we know what a brand is and what has changed in today's time, one thing that I wanted to get back on you when you were talking about what has changed today is and I wanted to add a bit on it as well. The fact that suddenly because of Corona, don't you think all the needs have changed like drastically now? Like in the first month and a half, I found myself thinking about a lot of things that I really didn't need in my life that I was exposed to, and now I'm doing well without them. And that has led me to change of thinking differently over a period of time. Have you seen such a behavior change on social media lately? What are your opinions on it?
So that is something I have definitely felt, and in fact I think my lifestyle has just totally changed. Like right now I don't feel the need to have a restaurant of dinner out or go out to have junk food. Of course it might be temporary, and all of us might get back into the zone of doing what we want, and just sort of getting back into a hectic lifestyle with no time for our family. But right now I'm really enjoying this phase. I think on social media, especially with this poll, if you see, most people are using Instagram, and Facebook, it's only 17%, 14% YouTube, Twitter, there's no one. So this also adds to the fact that Instagram is really growing. So when I see people on Instagram, I see them posting more about their life now. Earlier, before COVID, it was more business related or more fake. But now suddenly people have had the time to introspect and get some insight. So they're really into posting about what they're actually doing, the challenges they're facing. Mental health awareness is huge right now. So if there are therapists here, healers here, you guys can really use this time to provide free resources, and then you can really grow. So this is a great time for people to grow. The best thing that this has brought, the COVID situation has brought for us, is it's time. Right now, all of you, whoever it is, whatever you've been doing, can think about what parts have you missed out. What is the gap between your company and your target audience? For example, with Seobil, my target audience is Canada, US, UK clients. So I am very much in touch with them, but I did not have the time to do sales before. Right now, I cannot do sales, but what I can do is I can create content like this webinar, like creating content, creating an ebook, reaching out to people, connecting with them, getting to know them. I right now have 200 people from Canada waiting for me to reach out to them, new leads, completely new leads. But the only reason I got access to them is because I have been putting in the time and effort to get in touch with them. So this period is not about sales, it's about planning, laying down the foundation for the future. Of course, certain brands will they might just become irrelevant, or they might feel irrelevant, like travel companies for this time. But do not get demotivated, do not lose your enthusiasm, just stay connected, be patient. I feel after the situation goes over, maybe in 6 months or something, if you are in touch with your audience, if they have a great recall value, like you've always been in touch with them, then they will come back to you. So I feel that's what's changed between before and after, and this is what we can predict in the future, that we just need to stay connected, and if we continue working on what we are right now, you will succeed. It's not going to go away.
No, completely bought. So one thing I've also noticed during this time, because my campaigns keep, we're constantly thinking about campaigns or building campaigns in one way or the other. But one thing that I've noticed on social media is that the needs have changed drastically, and once that's happened, now our importance that we give to things are very different, right? So the key things are people expect to know much better than before, the kind of thing. So they need more transparency today. They want more openness because the times are uncertain. They want connectivity, like on digital, that helps them aid their entire customer journey. So there were a lot of gaps that just automatically got fulfilled because digital came into picture, and now every brand is acting and reacting accordingly. So for example, I think Instagram is one such place where brands can do most of the activities that we just spoke about, that is engaging, communicating, two-way communication, where you can toss in through some opinions and keep checking up on answers. You can project your own way forward as well. But before I go forward and continue on asking about what I think has changed, I see that there is a question that popped in from Muru. How to write a tagline and how long should a tagline be? Okay, how to write a tagline. This is an interesting one because I wrote two, which were very tedious. And for that, I actually read a book by Simon Sinek. It's called Find Your Why. So Start with Why and Find Your Why are two books that I really suggest everyone to read. So Simon Sinek is a psychologist, I think. He speaks.
I'll just write it down for everyone.
Yeah. So Start with Why and Find Your Why. So the books are basically talking about people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So their whole concept about building brands and any communication that goes out is that you need to start with why. Why did you start for? So he says that big companies like Apple are differentiated in the market only because their why is so strongly communicated to us that we start believing in their cause. So whatever tagline that you are trying to come out with, your why, the reason of existence of your company has to be a part of that tagline. So for example, I keep giving this example very often, is Red Bull. The best articulation of a tagline is Red Bull because it gives you wings. It subtly talks about the after effects of having a Red Bull, the adrenaline that you will get, and then I can give your wings as a reference point for all my marketing activities. Like think about any form of communication, it should be in a position to capture that. So first, to summarize it completely, read those two books. It will give you a structure how to come up with a statement, like what is your why. It will help you come up with that. And in the second book, it will give you exercises that allow you to write one. So there are some frameworks that I don't want to ruin right now, but there are some frameworks that you can get in touch with me later, which basically say if this then that. So when you frame your tagline in that situation, you'll get a value proposition in place. And once value proposition is you can probably go forward with the tagline. Then we have some more questions. Do you want to talk about some hash? Because there's one that says Hardik Mystery. Hello, Hardik. Will you please guide on what should be done to stand out different from others in creating bigger impact on the market during current situation? This is something what Hash has already answered in a way, but key takeaways that I would want to tell you guys is you should know your role. Whenever you're communicating, you shouldn't communicate for the sake of it. A lot of content nowadays, thanks to some platforms like specifically TikTok, I don't want to defame it for any reason, but I just feel TikTok and some other platforms have allowed unnecessary communication. So there is a lot of clutter out there, which people really don't want to see. They might want to swipe it up. So during this time, what your core role should be, the fact you should know what you're up to. Like, why are you communicating in the first place? Second, you got to listen and be approachable. Be more calm. Don't jump to conclusions, and try to build something that works out for everyone. So that's like the base structuring for me. And while Hash can speak more, so Hash, any inputs from your end? Like, will you guide on what should be done?
I would love to add on more to the tagline one, especially. So you have obviously, you are very experienced with taglines, and I think people need to, figure out the taglines with a lot of research. Okay, let's just do this poll first. Have you come across any good opportunity through social media? Yes, me and Z got to know each other and Udaan through social media. So please answer the polls on the side and, just keep in touch. In the meanwhile, to answer the tagline question directly in a short summary, I would say that, you can use 4-5 words to actually ensure a good short tagline. Like, don't take it beyond 5 words, Muru. And when you're using your taglines, you can Google some like if and then options. So they'll give you a lot of varieties and you can see what fits for your brand. Like if it's designing, if you love designing, then reach out, like something like that. So it's basically reframing that to make sure that it meets your brand guidelines. Now, like Z said in the beginning, you need to be clear on what your goals are. You need to be clear on what your brand is about. And you have to use those words in your tagline. So if my brand is Your Business Solutions, my tagline cannot be, just one-stop solutions. It means nothing. It needs to include marketing, outsourcing, website. So it needs to say something very clearly to the audience so that they are not confused. So, leading on with the poll, have you come across any good opportunity? I'm so glad to see there are 92% people who have said yes. So those who have not said yes, it might be because you're not using it correctly. So you can definitely PM me, like WhatsApp me or Instagram me, and I can guide you more on how you can do this better. Because social media is the biggest platform you will get. It's beyond emails, it's beyond websites. Like, you will not get these many leads and these many contacts anywhere else. That's the reason we are doing this today. And to continue with Hardik, yes, Z is right. We need to just keep on, promoting the way I have just explained, like be very sensitive. But to stand out in front of others, what you can do is you can do a lot of, create a lot of engagement. So suppose yours is a photography brand and you want to show your pictures, but there are like 100 or 1,000 photography other pages which are doing really well. So why should they follow you? So start with referrals, people you already know. Like I would start with sending out a message to Z, Neeti, and all my friends, my family, and tell them this is what we're doing. So they would forward it to their contacts. So even if one friend of mine forwards it to 10 other people, then at least I'm getting the word out there. So I think the main beginning step is to get the word out there through your friends and family, and ensure that they're forwarding it, and they will. If they are really connected and they're important to you, they will forward it and the word will spread on its own, and then you will slowly begin to stand out. Now, don't follow the trends blindly, because we do a lot of that. Like right now there's TikTok and there's happy dance and there's this happening. So everyone's on TikTok now, everyone's on Instagram. The point is, if your content is different, then people will follow you no matter how small you are. But you have to stay patient. Instagram, Facebook, social media, it does not pick up until 3 months. So this is something that people do not understand. You think that today मैंने page बनाया है, कल मुझे result मिल जाएगा. It's not gonna happen, guys. 3 months is minimum. इसके पहले result नहीं आता है. 6 months is what you can expect कि हाँ थोड़ी sales और leads होने लग जाए. There are exceptions, of course, but then you need to be really good at it. So point is, if you're starting a new page, you have to stay consistent. You have to stay in touch with your customers, and you have to keep it engaging. I think that answers a lot of the questions people have asked. So Z, you can just answer for Prateek, I think.
Yeah, and
Hello.
one thing that I wanted to tell you, when you're thinking about branding, I saw another question from Krisha, I think, but I'll answer that. But more than that, I think what more than just being different on content, right? You need to know why you're communicating and what. So the answer basically lies down in competition analysis. Whoever you are, whatever you're trying to build, there are people out there who have done that before, and it's foolish to not look into their books good enough, because the books are open. You can go check their social media, get a template out there, and understand what is it that they've been trying to do on through their social media, right? And then chalk out a plan. First, realize what they stand for, and that's something that we don't stand for. That is why we can't differentiate. One other thing that I wanted to speak about is the fact that there's a lot of time. So brands essentially are extension of ourselves. It is something we yearn or seek for in products that are which are tangible, right? I expect my football shoes to act and behave a certain way because they're Nike. Things like that. So, and why do I believe and think that way? Because Cristiano Ronaldo promotes it, Neymar wears it, all the other things I buy, maybe some other. So these are the pointers that help you build this personality about the brand. But more or less, it is all about what space do you want to take in somebody's life. And the key answer to that is always starting with competition. Once you go with competition, you know what you shouldn't be, and then you close in, you lessen your options and basically drive down to the point where you say, हाँ ये बन सकते हैं, this is a place where I can communicate and still have a tangible personality around yourself, something that people would want to buy. Because at the decision making, right, if there are two phones at 10,000 rupees, giving you same megapixel, same display quality, picture and everything, the differentiating factor will be the brand, the universe that it builds. So you need to be careful about what you speak about, what you talk and what not, right?
So
one question.
I have a lot of questions pouring in, guys. It's so amazing. I'm so excited to see so many of you all engaging with us. So we are gonna take it one at a time right now. Hi Sohil, I got your question. Hi Prateek, I can see you. Sweekriti, I'm getting to yours. Yours is a little complicated, so we'll get to it a little later. Let me start with Sohil because I love this question. I think a lot of people here are in the insurance business or in traditional businesses. And the question is how to take a traditional business to social media. So like I said, firstly, when you create a page, there is no one following you, right? So what you do is you first launch a page and then you start posting about what you do. You immediately begin with that, about your logo, about what you're branding, what are you trying to sell. And then you start talking about tips on insurance. Like if you're an insurance agent or a share market person, there will be tips. Your experience will amount to more than anyone can understand. So you need to decide what makes you unique, what makes you so experienced that I need to learn from you. Why should I come, visit your page, follow your page? Now, one thing matters here, which is a little bit difficult for people to manage, is the graphics. Without graphics, you cannot expect a good audience. Without good images, without good posts, you cannot expect followers to just come online and follow you. So to come on social media, I would say if you have a good Facebook page or an Instagram page, or LinkedIn, launch with the page that you are actually working with, like you already have a lot of followers on. If you don't, launch with one page first, whichever it is, whichever portal you choose, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram or Facebook. Do not go all out, launch all the pages and just get confused and overwhelmed by the response. So first Suppose if I launch on Instagram, I can create a Facebook and LinkedIn page, but focus only on one page. Spend all your time on one page. Okay. Now, when you're doing that, you post about one thing that can help people. So suppose I'm into marketing, so I can post about marketing tips, and then every day consistently I post about marketing tips. Now, this also leads me to another question, where how you can grow your social media page and how you can get more followers. So you have to follow certain pointers, like, firstly, do not buy paid followers. So the question is, would you buy paid followers on social media? The poll is up there, so just answer that. I would highly recommend not buying paid followers. Okay. Allow people to follow your page, allow people to see what you're doing, let them follow you, let them decide if you're good enough. If not, you can change your strategy. Suppose someone has 10k followers, 12k followers, but only 20-50 likes per post. Others can understand that you have bought your followers. Yeah, they're not dumb, they're not stupid. They can see that half your followers are not even checking your posts, so that means you have bought followers. So that actually leads to a very negative impression, and it's useless. It's just for your satisfaction that I have 10k followers. It's better to build your organic audience slowly, which will actually convert to leads. Now, how to get sales and leads out of Instagram, Facebook, and social media? Simple. Start running ads. It is complicated, it takes time, you need to learn the skills, or you need to hire someone. Figure out a way to do that, but you need to run ads. Even if it's a small budget, like 100 rupees per day or 500 rupees per week, it doesn't matter. Small budgets are also fine. The point is to give money. Like, you will not care about your customers if they're not paying, right? Why do you care about your customers? Who are your favorite customers? Those who pay you. So in the same way, Instagram, Facebook, and Google only care about customers who love them, who pay them. So if you are not boosting your posts, you're not running ads, you're not putting in money, Instagram and Facebook will not push your page to other people, to other audiences. So you have to put in ads, run ads to get new leads, new followers. And even if it's a traditional business like insurance, you can run ads about it, and you will get people who actually need a lot of insurance advice. Start with free services. Start with free ebooks, free tips, free consultations. We do a lot of free consultations. This is a free webinar that we are doing. So that's a great way to get the word out there. Right now we have over 50 participants, and that's only because we have given the word out there at no cost. So get the word out there. You have to sacrifice a little, but then it gets you a lot of results and very fast. So you want to speak about the free thing, how you can help with free resources and how to get your business started on social media and branding?
Yeah, I think the guy Sohil, yeah. So Sohil, hi, good, glad to know your question. One thing I would say is, going back to my point is, see, there are certain frameworks that are out there, and you can just blindly copy them. The few ones are the few ones that Hashara spoke to you about, the fact that you can get your free pages in place in first place, and then once you've gotten the properties set up in the right space, right? Once you've done that, then there are two aspects, two very specifically, that this is how I decode. So I'll give you my hack. There are two ways how you do it. So branding and marketing is divided into creative and tactic. So the creative strategy is what we were talking about, what the brand should stand for, what feeling it should give you out, and what it should stand, the value proposition. And then there are the tactics. The tactics are what Hash is trying to focus on. So the tactics are, how do you do that objective on very specific platforms? Because Facebook is different than Instagram, and Instagram is different from that. So to do this, I would first say that just try to figure out what are hygiene activities on each platform and get yourself comfortable doing that. Once you've done that, and you know that you have a brand philosophy, which is the creative strategy, and the tactic in place, because both of them have to depend on what you're selling. So for example, if you're a car seller, like, or I'll probably any product for that matter. Let's take car for again. So if you're a car guy, you're more likely to be possibly on Insta, because there I'm showing a lot of product demos, like easy to show product demos, than on Facebook, than on LinkedIn, because it's much more professional, And maybe when you go into luxury car market, maybe LinkedIn works for you better than Instagram. So one, you have to understand that it's all dependent on your product and the TG you're trying to reach to. So once you have this balance, you'd realize the kind of places that you are most appropriate for. I'm saying appropriate for because if you have money and under like you have all the money in the earth, you can just splurge money on everything. But that's not the point. The idea is to be at the most relevant place at the best time possible. And for that, you just have to cross question like, where is my customer and why will he be looking at this? And when he looks at it, what is he looking for? Like when he looks for my product, what intangible is he trying to fulfill? And very similar question that I think somebody else asked as well, which was I think back up there where she said digital marketing is very competitive. I wanted to understand how we can grow in this situation, and perhaps the answer is same. See, understand the realm of digital marketing and try to understand which part are you trying to fulfill as an individual. You may be a creative guy, you can create posts for any of the platforms. If you're a strategy person, then you can tell them how to access those platforms and go across. And if you're basically an execution person, you're making it happen. So digital marketing in itself is a big industry, and it's not dependent. It's not the same guy who's doing all the job. There are different profiles, and you probably go on LinkedIn, get to speak a couple of guys like Hash, and get to understand how is a campaign segregated in terms of who builds the communication, who creates the creative, who manages the money behind it. So the different sets of people, and each of that expertise is something that you have to think of and move forward, right? Apart from that, I think that's pretty much about how to go about digital marketing. But with your insurance agent business, I think it's the same thing. You got to be present where your guys are present. COVID, thanks to COVID, you must be in a lot of business right now. So I think right now, anywhere where COVID is going on, you could be present. Just try to figure out keywords which are little less cluttered, so that you're not paying as much as the high brands out there.
So I want to pick that from you, where you just said that COVID situation where insurance is growing. So you have to understand, guys, what he's saying is perfect. That COVID may now this is the right opportunity to launch on social media and get new clients. But where you are stuck is, how do you convert those sales? How do you run ads? How do you post? How do you have a graphic? It's too much. So firstly, recognize whether you are skilled enough to handle all this technology. Like, do you think you can do it yourself? If you cannot, just go ahead
then
and
contact Hash and get her the business. Is it?
Definitely. But
Okay.
you don't have to, because I'm expensive. You can hire someone who's cheap. So it's not about the pricing. It's about the fact that no matter how new the person is, no matter how small your budget is, if you can just invest a little bit of money in this marketing and hiring someone to handle your page, run these ads, it'll help you a lot in the long run. And for those who think that social media mere liye work nahi karega, you are being close-minded right now. Because social media works for everyone, no matter what business you are in. Like it is the reason that Zomato has grown to the level it has right now. Uber has grown to what it has. It's not just because they are there. In fact, Mumbai police right now is on Instagram and it's going crazy. Like Mumbai police has been doing posts every day and they have like thousands of followers right now. So the only reason is they have been posting consistently on social media, which also brings me to this poll: once a week, twice a week, alternate day, or every day. How frequently are you posting on social media? Now, whatever your answer is, please remember this: there is no wrong answer. The point is, whenever you post, you decide your consistency, okay? But you have to be consistent. For example, if I post once a week, it's fine because I don't have the time to post more. But you have to post every single week without skipping even 1 week. If you can post alternate days, great. The best solution is to post every day without fail. But you cannot stop. You cannot have breaks. You cannot decide that aaj nahi man ho raha hai, I don't want to work on it. So you decide what's comfortable. Usually people post thrice a week, which is very easy to manage for those who are doing it themselves. If you're hiring a marketing person, it's very easy because they can just manage the page for you and post for you. Leading from that, for us now, people.
Hey, Hash, one thing. Sorry to cut you, but before, because I think there's some very little time left, and I had this one question I had to ask you and everyone who's on the call. Guys, could you tell me what your favorite brand is, irrespective? And Ash, I want you to answer this as well. Your favorite brand and why. It'll be interesting to hear some of these answers from your end, and they don't necessarily be, the BMWs and Mercedes of the world. But tell me, why do you like a particular brand? Like when you think of a brand right now, which brands come up in your head? If you could do that exercise, just quickly tell us. It'd be great. So Ash, you tell me by then. What is your favorite brand?
We'll just everyone just type your answers in the chat box quickly, so we can just see your favorite brands. It can be anything. It can be car, it can be food, it can be a laptop.
Yeah.
Oh, mine is Apple for sure. Like phone, laptop, everything is Apple.
Nice. And what about you guys? I need some answers, man. So once you do that, Neeti, what is your Amazon? We see Cadbury. Okay, Cadbury is an interesting answer. Amazon is a big company too. Thank you for so much. Oh, nice. We're glad as well. So yes, Google. Nice.
Google.
And Pratik Bhayani says it's MI. Riddhi Singhania says it's Amazon. Have you tried to think why? Like just right now when you're supporting this, endorsing this brand right now, you try to think why, and you'd realize that it is what we should try to build for our brands. The thing that you're trying to do, what you're doing right now by writing all the names that you really really like, is saying that you personally endorse these brands because you specifically like either the product, the service, the aspiration, the values, the culture. It may be something. It must be the story that goes behind it. Like for example, Adidas says impossible is nothing, and then they did a brilliant campaign about how Sachin Tendulkar turned out to be Sachin Tendulkar. Lionel Messi turned out to be Lionel Messi, and so it's the why you connect with, and it's the passion that you want to succeed. So whenever you try to build your brand on social media, and kid you not, it's not just something that you want to sell. People are brands today as well. Harshwata is a brand in herself. I try to be one from time to time, but we all try to perpetrate a certain behavior, a certain attribute, a certain philosophy to ourselves, which people would want to imbibe. Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, Elon Musk are the biggest branded personalities that you can think of. So you can start from yourself and then think about what brands do you really really want to build by yourself. So that's a key input from my end. Ashwata, if there is any final questions that you guys have, one thing I'll say is Hash and I are on LinkedIn. You guys can connect me, and I talk just like this, so it'll be easier. This is the best I can talk. So connect with me online and Hash too. And meanwhile, just throw in whatever last questions you have, and make the most of the time that we've gotten for you. And also perhaps attend the other lectures by Udaan. Udaan is trying to do something for budding entrepreneurs and people who want to do shit by themselves. So help them out, attend more journeys. And Ash, I leave it up to you now, so that
I want to summarize before we leave, because Sweekriti has asked me, she wants to run a fabric business. So how should she be running that? And then we can see questions from Pratik, and we can see questions from Hardik. So you guys have asked how to grow followers and how to gain trust. So I cannot go into detail for each one of you because right now we are short on time, but we are happy to do another webinar like this where we can answer more questions and we can do more detailed sessions. To summarize the whole thing, the first thing you need is a concept. what am I trying to sell? So suppose I'm trying to sell a t-shirt. So to answer your question, Srikriti, if you're trying to sell a t-shirt or a shirt, have your product ready. Before you launch anywhere, you need the initial products, like at least 5 to 10, samples. Then once you've decided your product or your concept, whether it's a service, insurance, then you need to figure out what name you want. The name should be complete, like Swikriti t-shirts, Swikriti fabrics, or it can be something like Sohail insurance services. So you have to connect your branding, your name, to the concept of what you're selling. Now you have a tagline ready. So the tagline also shares what you do exactly in very clear words, and it's also attractive. Then you need a logo that matches your tagline and your name and your concept. So the logo binds it all. Logo, please do not try, not use the free versions available on Google. Go and pay and get someone to do it right. Okay, don't take any average logos. Make sure they keep redoing the logo until you're really happy with it. But you have to have a logo. Now, after all this is done, you don't need a website compulsorily. If you have one, good. If you don't, it's totally okay. After this, you can launch your social media page. Because without this, you are not branding yourself. You're just existing. You're just present with the name. So once you have all this ready, you launch a social media page. You need to decide which social media page is good for me. Am I good with Instagram or Facebook or all of them? But you have to, have a preference even in that. After you launch on social media, start posting a few, maybe 5-10 posts. After 5-10 posts, copy the link for your social media and start sending it out on WhatsApp. Because WhatsApp is the best way right now to connect. If you have email database, perfect. Send it out on email marketing automation. So when you reach out to people, send them, ask them to follow you, follow your page and all of that. They will, your friends and family will. Then ask them to share it on their profile. So you will grow more. Finally, figure out your target audience. Like for Swikriti, your fabric, company or your t-shirt or shirt company will have a target audience, maybe men or both, and of a certain age, of a certain. You need to decide that. Then whoever is running those ads, or if you're running those ads, you need to have that clear in your ads because they allow you to choose your target audience. So you choose your target audience, whether it's 30 to 40 years of age, to 40 years of age, and then you run those ads. Also, do not stop. This is just one part of it. You have to keep cross promoting all of it. So whether you're promoting in your Facebook page or your Instagram page, you add your email marketing automation, you do your WhatsApp promotions, you do your YouTube promotions, you also promote it on different websites. Like if you can guest blog, go to a website. Like recently I did a guest blog. I did only 2 blogs, just 2 blogs, because I wanted to share something. I got 50 followers in one day. So for people like Hardik who are asking me whether it's easy to build trust, it's not. But if you know your target audience, if you know how you have your concept clear, you can get them. So you just need to know where to go. I tried 15 different websites. Finally, I chose one, and then I wrote 2 blogs on that, and I got 50 followers. So that was not because I randomly went and I wrote something and I sent something. It has to match your concept, your branding. So you can't say social media pe post kar diya. Social media pe post karne ke baad only 20 people are seeing your post. So it's irrelevant. You have to be available everywhere on Google. Like everywhere they see, they should be able to see you. That's the only way you will begin to exist on, in a virtual world where there are lakhs and lakhs of other pages.
Okay. So Hash, I think we'd have to end this session now. But before I go, there is difference between marketing and branding. Branding is a subset of marketing. Don't have to confuse yourself with it. Just read up to know that branding isn't marketing, and you do great. Apart from that, please reach us on muzammil.sayyed on Insta, LinkedIn, wherever you find us appropriate. And give us some more questions, Jude. Like I think this conversation could have been a lot more fruitful if had we known who we are interacting with. We can possibly come up with better question answer rounds in which we can answer much more of your doubts. And if that happens, then let me know. Meanwhile, this is I'll be signing off. Ash, any last words?
Yeah,
And thank
Z,
you very much. I just read the poll that said 90 something people liked our conversation. So booyah, my
that's it.
first. So thank you very much for appreciating us. We'll try to do something better. Hope you give us a chance. And hash over to you, and then we conclude. Maybe Udan can take it over.
Dhruvi is just asking, instead of naming a unique brand, can we just name it after your own name? Yes, you can, Dhruvi, definitely, especially if you have a lot of people following you. Like, suppose if I'm a fashion blogger, I would totally name it Harshvata Prasanna, because it doesn't make sense for me to brand myself and then have another fashion brand, and people will not connect the two. So if I have people who know me for my work, for especially for fashion bloggers, especially for designers, it's better to have your own name as a branding. So it depends how comfortable you are with it. But if yours is like graphical, then of course, right, Dhruvi Shah designing, so it's, or Dhruvi designing, so something like that. So connect what you're doing with your name rather than just have your name. I think that's about it. Sorry, Pratik. I thought we tried to answer your question. I don't know if we got to it, but if not, you can just Instagram me and I'll definitely help you out. I hope we answered everyone. We're doing our best to make sure we catch up to all of you. But let's see. Maybe we'll have another session. And thank you so much for the poll. It means a lot.
Okay, guys.
I don't know if you can still see me. Bye bye.
Guys, you can follow them on Instagram and LinkedIn. And thank you so much, Hash and Z, for coming. And it was a really, really nice session.
Cool.
So hope we meet again.
Hopefully. Okay. So see you guys. Pleasure talking to you guys. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, Neeti. Thank you, Udan.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Z. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I can't get out of this now. This is funny. Okay. See you guys.